All right, everybody. This is a last-minute add-on flight, and we're taking the Cirrus. First time ever. You might notice that the background picture is a little different. This is the inside of the Cirrus, and it's going to be my neighborhood here. So we're going to fly from Plymouth to Concord, New Hampshire. We're on the other side of the airport that I'm not used to departing from, because this is where there is the Mike Goulian School, flight school, which has all the Cirrus aircraft here on Plymouth in real life. So I decided to go from there to what we need. But I was watching Jet Pilot Cinnamon on the channel, and I appreciate what he's done, because he is the basically the founder of the Virtual USA Flying Club. But I made my own checklist for the SRS-22. I got my hands on a POH PDF file, and I'll turn down this music just a little bit. And so without further ado, I've done a couple of test flights. I might just set autopilot on this one. I might get lazy, but it's a quick flight to Concord. It should only take us about half an hour if I can calculate the flying right. I didn't do a full-out checkpoint thing. I'm just going to go GPS direct, and we're going to do this. So at least maybe I can show you how to start up a Cirrus with what I've seen in the POH. That's what I'm after first. So let's start the checkup process. And going with very initial stuff that's in there. They want Battery Master 2 on. Okay, you should hear the avionics cooling fan pop up, which I can. You might not be able to over the music, and I'm sorry. I just want some background music to make my stream a little bit more, there you go, a little bit more interesting. All right, voltmeter 23 to 25 volts. You got it. A flat position light should be out, which it's not in this model, but it would be out, I guess, until you turn on the avionics. Maybe, I don't know. Fuel quantity, we're gonna cheat and say after we got this initial thing that they filled it up. There you go. That's our fuel gauge right there. Fullest tank, fuel selector. That's another thing you have to get used to, is the fuel selector of the Cirrus. Flaps 100%. And they want you to check that the light's on. We're also going to check that it's going down. So those are the flaps on the Cirrus. Very good. And oil enunciator's on. You can see that's flashing red, so that's good. All right. And lights, interior, exterior. The weird thing about the Cirrus, it doesn't have a beacon light. The strobes are used basically as the beacon light. So let's take a look outside. And yeah, you got your nav lights, you got your strobes, but there's no beacon. That's just the way it is. Me, myself, I think they should have put a beacon on this thing, but they don't. They don't have a beacon on the Cirrus. There's the landing light. So it looks all good there. And battery mastered 1, 2 off. I'm going to turn the lights off. And circuit breakers are down here. They'd be all in. Fire extinguisher would typically be somewhere on the side here. This model does not have a fire extinguisher, or it could be in the back or something, I don't know. But it's not there. And emergency egress hammer, that's got to be somewhere, but that's to break the glass in case you need to. And the caps handle, which is the parachute system, there's a pin that you'd get out right now. It's inoperative on this model, but just to let you know. All right, then you do the pre-flight on the outside. So I'm going to go to before starting engine, pre-flight inspection completed, emergency equipment on board, passengers briefed, seat belts, harnesses adjusted, starting engine, external power, we don't have any. Brakes, I'm holding them, they feel good. Battery switches on, 1, 2. Strobe lights on. Someday I'll release this checklist once I get it done, but I did everything by the POH there. Mixture, full rich. And I gotta check this because I have two different quadrants here. I have the TPM, see what I'm saying? And then I have my USB quadrant from Logitech, which I'm gonna use that instead because it's more the lever type thing. So mixture full rich. Power level, full forward. Very good. Ignition, sorry. Fuel pump, this is kind of intricate on the SR-22. You have to go to prime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to go to boost, and you're going to leave it on boost. Clear prop. We're good. Okay, power level is going to go to 1/4. You see that it bounces up and down? I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. Ignition switch to start. The ignition is over here on the Cirrus. There you go. Alright, then we're gonna put the power level around 1,000 RPM. Do you see how they did that little bounce though? I'll tell you why. The weird thing, actually the unique thing I should say, about the Cirrus is that it has a manifold pressure gauge, and that's because within this power throttle, it actually has the prop connected to it. There's some type of cable or some type of coupling that they make there. So when you power this up or down, it might temporarily shift the power up and down compared to where the prop is. So it is a controllable pitch prop, but it's within the thrust lever. Kind of unique, isn't it? It's kind of cool. All right, oil pressure check. It's in the green. And alternator master switches are on. Very good. Avionics power switch is right here, is on. Sometimes it asks you to push for the map there. Just hear the radios come on. Engine parameters monitor. We're looking good on everything. And external power we don't need. Amp meter check. It looks good. Not really charging, but not losing. So, all right. Before taxiing, brakes check. We'll check those on the way out. Flaps are up. Okay, we also have to get the weather, so let's do that. Plymouth is 135.625. This is a non-towered airport, so. And the Unicom's 122.75.
Kilo Papa Yankee Mike automated weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 286 at tree. Visibility niter. Sky condition clear. Temperature 15C dew point, 13C altimeter 2992.
2992. That barometric pressure is down
Kilo
here.
Papa Yankee Mike automated weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 286 at tree.
Alright,
Visibility
286. It's 286 at 3. We'll do 24. I feel like doing 24. So, alright. There's one taxiway missing in the flight simulator, and that is the right side of 24. So we have to go all the way around the left, but in the real world they have more than that. Alright, we're gonna taxi out of here. We'll check the brakes as we go. Just make sure the transponder is 1200 and working. There you go. Alright, and we don't need any air traffic control because again this is non-controlled, non-towered airport, non-controlled. So let's check VATSIM though before we do go. Boston Center will do a radio check, 134.7.
Air 600 Victor, report out for cancellation in the air or on the ground. Bits frequency, change advisory frequency approved.
Boston Center, November 489 Echo Foxtrot, radio check, please.
Okay, 600 Victor, I for cancellation, receive radar service, terminate squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Have a good night. Squawk VFR and over to CTAF, 620 Victor.
Boston Center, November 489 Echo Foxtrot, radio check, please. Okie dokie. What's going on? I don't know. Everything looks good on that side.
Server 489 Echo Foxtrot, Boston Center.
Just a radio check, please, for 9 Echo Foxtrot.
Loud and clear.
Thank you, 9 Echo Foxtrot. All right, good. You must have gotten a little caught up there.
November 816 Alpha Sierra, cross Keen VOR at 5,000, cleared VOR, runway 2 approach.
Test the brakes as we go out. This doesn't take much power to
Keen
taxi.
at 5,000, cleared VOR,
We're
runway
literally
2
talking about
at
1200,
816 Alpha Sierra.
so not much. It's a very powerful engine, and of course, it helps to take off the parking brake. Pretend that taxi light's not there, because it's not there in real life. Brakes are good. All right. And we're going to head out to our left. But one thing about the Cirrus, and I've been practicing with this for a little bit, is that it has a lot more power than anything else I've flown. So it doesn't take much at all to make this thing go. And true airspeed, when I looked at the POH, I have it set for 176 knots. In comparison, the 172 I usually fly is 114 knots, and that's in the SP model. It's 110 in the N model that I used to fly in prepared. And if you fly the 152, I estimate that to be at 100. So this thing it makes flights almost double as fast. Which is why we picked it tonight, 'cause I'm a little bit late.
Boston Center, number 816 in the Papa. After Berlin, request direct, Montpelier direct.
Okay, we're on VATSIM Unicom. Plymouth traffic, Cessna and the 489er Echo Foxtrot crossing runway 624 and Charlie, Plymouth. It's really not Charlie. I forget what it is though. It might be Kilo, if I remember right. But this is my home base airport in real life. The hangars don't look real, but the placement of the buildings look real. My flight school would be this one right here. So, see what I mean? Doesn't take much power. The thing moves. So, again, I've never flown a Cirrus in real life, but from what I read in the forums and stuff, and from what I've seen, it's a pretty fast, powerful aircraft. And it's the top-selling general aviation aircraft in the 2000s, top-selling. So that tells you something about it right there. All right, I have another aircraft there on the taxiway, probably VATSIM, maybe, because they're usually not there. So, Plymouth traffic, person on what is to be Alpha on Extra Flight Simulator. Are you heading out? Just wanted to check if that was him or not, or what's going on. But aircraft on the taxiway at Plymouth, just seeing if you're going to taxi away from there. If not, I'm going to continue taxi, thinking that you're not a real person.
Chair 84, turning to right now.
You see what I'm seeing? It's not a ghost or anything, right? Let's send the drone over, shall we? Whoa! It's something. Let me check Fantastic and see if that's somebody, because they're clogging that up pretty good when they don't have to. Alright, sorry about that. I'm checking Fantastic here to see if there's any traffic at Plymouth, which is not normal for us, but I don't think there are. I think it's just me. Yeah, it seems to be only me, so that's Flight Simulator. So you know what? That's kind of weird, because I told it no traffic. But we'll go anyways. Here we go. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Plymouth traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot crossing runway 1533, Plymouth. I'm just going to go right through it because they're not moving either. That's kind of weird. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. They're not there. They're fake. They're a ghost plane. This is going downhill, so I got this on idle, and we are going to do a run-up in the Cirrus here, so. All right. So this is the before takeoff checklist, which is otherwise known as the run-up. Okay, caps handle, verify the pins removed. So you look up here, make sure it's removed. That's the parachute system. Seatbelt, shoulder harnesses secured, doors latched, brakes holding, flight controls free and correct. I'm probably gonna break out my very old Sidewinder joystick when I fly this from now on. It has force feedback. I don't know if they have force feedback in the simulator, but that will get me more of the one-handed stick like the Cirrus is. Right now I'm just using the yoke either way. Trim set for takeoff. And you have to look here. I asked online if there's any visual representation of the trim being set for takeoff, and I don't see any. Still don't see any. So I have no clue about that. I'll keep researching, but you can cheat on the simulator. You just mouse over that and it tells you it's 0. Autopilot disconnected. It is. That's down here. Flaps set to 50% in check, so just make sure they're going down, which they are. Very good. Flight and engine instruments check. Everything's in the green. We're good. Altimeter looks good. 299.2, and the heading is 221. The compass is up there. Looks good. All right. The altimeter, yeah. Fuel quantity confirm. Set to the fullest one. I'm gonna keep it on left for now, though. We'll switch it to the right when I need to. Propeller check. See, and then you're like all confused. You're like, what do you mean the prop check? Again, that's because the prop is within this throttle here. They kind of combined it on the Cirrus here. So what you do to check the prop is you increase it to 2,000 RPM, and then it detents. So you'll see it go down on the power level, which is right here. See that? But we go to 2,000 just to make sure it does that. There you go. And you know that the controllable pitch prop is working in there with the throttle. All right, power level 1700. Next, we're going to check the mags. Sorry about that. I got to download these copyright free songs to use while I stream still, just to get a chance. Kind of fell asleep. So, all right, about 1700. Alternator check. Looks good. I don't think it works on this, but the power is good. That's what matters the most. Pitot heat on, which is down here. Okay. Avionics on. They're just double checking, I guess, because we already put them on. All right. And nav lights on. Bam. I'm also going to put the landing lights on at this time. Keep those on under 10,000 so most of the time. All right, we're going to do... There's no caution lights on the alternator. Voltage check. Looks good. 25 to 20. It's in the green. Yep. Sorry it's taking so long. It's just I'm not... Never flown this in the real world. Check left and right magneto. Let's go to right magneto. Very good. Back to both. And the POH, I can't remember the exact numbers. Actually, I did. I think I wrote it down. Less than 150 RPM for each, and no more than 75 RPM difference. So let's go left. Good. Back to both. All right. Power level decreased to 1,000. It's about 5% or so. That's how powerful this thing is. And transponder set to alt already, because I like to do that from parking. Nav radio set for takeoff. We're on FatSims Unicom, and I'm gonna try doing this without getting any flight following. I'm flying over Class Bravo in Boston, so I might call the center, but I don't need them right now. Normal takeoff is full power. We're going to rotate at 70. We're going to climb at 101 knots, believe it or not. That's a normal takeoff. So that's what we're going to do. And at 80 knots, we got to take out those 50% of flaps. So there's only 370 for flaps, all the way up 50% and 100. So, all right, with that, we're good to go. So let's get over there. If there's a problem on the takeoff, full mechanical emergency, otherwise, and there's enough available runway ahead of us, we will abort takeoff and land directly ahead on the runway. If we are under 850 feet, and there's a problem, mechanical emergency, or otherwise, we'll land directly ahead with no more than 30-degree turns. Best glide speed for us is 88 in this model. If we're above 850 feet and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we'll take a turn to the, to the left and land downwind on the taxiway, the grass, the runway, whatever's available to us. Best glide speed again is 88. Told you, more powerful engine. No one on downwind. Base final. No one there. Okay, let's call it on FatSim Unicom. Plymouth traffic says 9 Echo Foxtrot, departing runway 24, departure to the north. Plymouth traffic. And here we go. So we can rotate at 70, climb at 101. And we also have to retract the flaps at 80 knots. And that's what it says in the POH. And it's worked out great so far, so. But new aircraft for me. Very fast and good to go. That's the power boost right there, the booster for the fuel. And feet on the floor, here we go. Right rudder. rotate at 70. Climb at 101. Sorry, I have to keep it in my head because it's a newer aircraft for me. Rotate at 70 and rotate. Climb to 101, flaps retracted at 80. We want to hold it to about 13 degrees or so. You see that airspeed climbing now. That's the autopilot ready to go if we need to. But I will set that as I need to. And let's get to our map here. So yeah, I did practice with this on the simulator somewhat, and it was good to do that because I kind of got used to where I have to pitch the plane and stuff like that. We're going to be heading to 352 to get to Concord, and it shouldn't take us that long, so. Okay, we're going to climb to 8,500 feet. Altitude, and there, we already passed the power lines. Maybe, no, these are the power lines. We have to wait for that. See that little housing development, mobile houses? They don't like us, so we have to wait till we hit the power lines. But I'm already in pattern altitude. I don't see any other traffic around me. So we're actually going to turn right onto course here. So turning right to 352. Like I said, I'm probably going to take it easy tonight and use the autopilot, so we will eventually clock that on here. Practice with that too. Look at this, we're already at 117 knots. It's amazing. It's amazing the amount of power this thing has. Has air conditioning. Went over a little bit just to make sure that we're gonna get right back on track with our course, and no checkpoints, it's all GPS. All right, let's try this autopilot. Switch it on.
Engaging autopilot.
Vertical speed, make it go up to about where it was, which is right about there. Letting go, and you can see that's going up vertical speed. What we'll do is, when we get to 8,500, 10, 20-ish, we'll hit the Alt button. And it should keep us at that altitude. So full power though. We're a little faster, about 130, which is, you know, good for the engine. Again, enhanced cooling. You can see over the nose a little bit better. We are on our way. Let me just get this heading bug where it used to be. So that's where you get the heading from. They also have a button down here for heading. And then we can hit heading. And there we go. It should be 353 according to my GPS. And again, we could do it all here, but I'm using my tablet again. So it's all good. I mean, I could hit GPS of course too, but we'll leave it the way I'm used to doing it, so. And Boston Center. We might have to turn in a circle actually. It's going to have to be over, what is it, 7,000 before I get to Class Bravo. So if we have to, I will turn this plane around in a circle. Again, tonight's flight is part of the Virtual USA Flying Club. There's a link if you're on Twitch in the panels below that you can check out the club, potentially join it. We have fly-ins all the time. Actually, I shouldn't say all the time, about 3 to 4 times a month. 4 is a good month. 3 is normal, and I don't think we've had less than 3. So, but wow, can't believe how fast this thing climbs. That's what it looks like. You got Assawampset Pond. If you've been watching any of the Eric Flight videos on YouTube, that's the big visual pond I use all the time. And we might get above 7,000 before we hit Bravo. But just to make sure, I am gonna turn here in a 360, so let's just get some altitude here. I don't really want flight following, honestly. So we're south of Cranland right now, which is a very small airport here. But this is a very big area growing cranberries. So if you're wondering where all cranberries come from, a large portion come from Massachusetts, Plymouth area. That's what you see all over here, cranberry bogs. That's Plymouth Airport right there, my home base in real life. We're doing a 360 to gain some altitude before we go over the Boston Class Bravo airspace. Oh man, stalling because it's climbing too high. All right, turn that vertical speed off. I think that's an error with the autopilot, by the way. I gotta be honest with you, because it should just hold it, and I was at a good 110 knots. But autopilot off, and we'll trim down. Oh, my trim wheel's way too sensitive. Come on now. Oh man. Oh, that autopilot sucks. Woo! It does work after a while though. So, alright, let's see if we can get the altitude set here. Man, this autopilot's buggy. Okay.
Engaging autopilot.
No, see? And it doesn't do it. Alright, we'll just fly it then, I guess. Alright, as long as we're allowed to Class Bravo, the good news is we're going to be on track if I keep my altitude here, so that's cool. And let's climb. Come on, get to 7,000. Above the 7,000. That was interesting. That oil it will work eventually, it's just, it's not good. I don't want level. I want autopilot off. Thank you. So like I said, the way I found that it's foolproof is that you get to your altitude, then you hit the altitude button on the autopilot, and it works. It holds. So, you tell me. I don't know. Alright. That's about where we should be to head direct. We just gotta keep climbing. And we are out of Class Bravo. Yay! Cool. Alright. Now we're stabilized somewhat more. And we're doing well. Alright, I'll fly it by hand, and then I'll set the autopilot. We should cruise at 75% power. We should also get the mixture back, because it's a little higher right now. And I find that the mixture on this, I don't know if it's because it's modeled wrong, but it really doesn't do much. I can get to about 2,600 RPM. And if I throttle down too much on the mixture, obviously it stalls. But look how far I am. I mean, that's pretty far, and it's not stalling. So, I don't know. Could be a modeling problem, or it could be like real life. I would have to ask someone that actually flies a Cirrus. So, coming up on 8,000, which is good. We are on track here, staying away from the real world TFR here. But yeah, I could trim this out and make it fly, but I'm just gonna do autopilot. Cheat a little bit today.
Engaging
So
autopilot.
get that ready to go. And hold. Oh, whoa. Come on, hold it. Let's go. There we go. All right, with that, we'll let it build up some speed. We'll get my heading bug back where it's supposed to be, which is 351. Put the heading on. That was 350, but that's okay. 351. There we go. And we are on our way to Concord. I'm also gonna try to get this mixture here. This mixture thing is weird. I've almost got it all the way down, lean all the way, and then I'll touch the throttle after they go to 75% power. But still climbing an RPM. Oh, there we go. All right, good, right there. All right, we'll go down to 75% power. There's that control pitch prop there. Keeps readjusting itself till it's good. It's just kind of scary if you don't understand what's going on. That's why I was confused when I first started flying this. Alright, low wall mixture then. Yeah. There we go. See, that was really, really weird with things. You can see it's holding pretty good there. Other than that, I'm not contacting Boston Approach, even though in the real world I probably would. We only have Boston Center, so we'll fly it like we're good to go, and we're overclass Bravo the whole way, so including the Manchester airspace, which is further north of Boston. So yeah, that's a Cirrus aircraft for you. So, and we also changed the weather. Dial us down a little bit. Hi, 2-year-old on board, everybody. 2-year-old on board. Hi, how's it going? Want to come up? Okay. All right. Again, this throttle system, I'll put more mixture in. Say hi. Hi. Hi, everybody. Can't really see it because we're far away from the camera, but say hi. Hi. All right. That's why I got Autopilot on. See that? Pretty good deal, right? That's the camera. Hi.
Hi, Dada.
Hi. I love you. Okay. So listen. Go see Mommy. Okay, so I'm going to fly this flight. This shouldn't be a long one. Okay, and I'll go say goodnight to you in a little bit. Alright? Okay. It's wonderful to get a visit from the 2-year-old. And I picked the Cirrus because I knew I would have less time tonight, but let's dial this down a little bit. Yeah, a little over speed. Let's go to 70. Control pitch prop. Let's go. Alright. Economy, I think, is 55%. But we'll take a look outside in a second. We're over Boston already, believe it or not. That's how fast we're going. Logan Airport's out there. Boston City's over here. We're just chugging along here, so. At 8,500 feet. Look how fast we're going on the map here. Not used to going this fast, but that is kind of cool. This controllable pitch prop is weird. I'd be freaking out in real life, so I have to figure out what's going on with that. I mean, I know it's underneath all of this, and I know it's controllable pitch here. I put the mixture there now just in case, but still getting used to the aircraft, so. Check my checklist here. Cruise power set 55 to 85% power, best power 75% or less, best economy 65% or less. Monitoring the engine instruments, still a little close to that thing. Fuel flow and balance. Fuel boost needs to be used when switching tanks. Let's check the tanks. We'll switch to the right now, and the fuel boost is still on from before, so we have no problems. And mixture, lean as required. But again, I leaned that thing almost all the way back, and it just kind of did its thing. You see that's holding now. So, I don't know. If anyone flies a Cirrus in real life, let us know. Put something in the comments below if you're on YouTube, or if you're watching it all during this time. Just chat with us. But as you can see, Boston's right here. Good modeling in Boston. Very familiar with it. Okay, flown over Boston in a long time on the simulator. I may have done it once. So, harbor front here. This is where they're building a lot of buildings right now. You have the Trade Center here. And my old alma mater, Berkeley College of Music, is right about over here somewhere. Fenway Park, Red Sox play. Should be, if you can see it, over here somewhere. I really can't see it, so. Logan Airport's right here, so. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And you see the electronics are a little more advanced on this than, I'm trying to get 65% power now, so. Here we go. Very high tech this plane, but I feel better about my speed right there for cruise. It's intricate, but it's flyable. Like it's.
Oh, it is real hard to land at a runway when everything is gigantic and pixelated. I don't know what's going on here.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ow.
What's
It's working now.
2020.
Don't know what's going on with that, but I got
It's been
extra
really
batteries.
good most of the time, but like as I was approaching Concord, everything turned into like quarter-inch
Testing.
pixels.
All right.
Oh,
So all that
something
talking
to
I
look
did was
forward
for
to, it
nothing.
sounds like.
Yeah, the trees were like that for me when I was there.
All right. So we're on our way to Concord, Mass. I mean Concord, New Hampshire. Hello.
Sorry, I was making a call. What's up?
He said the trees looked like that when he was there too.
Testing.
Yeah, it's a little rough. A lot of it's been just gorgeous. This one's a little rough.
So I don't know what's up with that, but now it's working. Go figure.
Yeah, sorry, I was making a radio call too right as you said that.
Booking it up there at
I don't
161
know, landing
knots
wasn't the best
ground
experience
speed.
in this Kit Fox, and it wants to roll at idle, which is
Right. Let's
floated like half the runway because it wouldn't actually cut throttle.
try some different lighting options
Yeah, I
here.
couldn't even tell you how it's supposed to fly.
So I'm looking like a
This is
ghost
bizarre.
right now. So let's go to settings on the virtual camera. And we'll see what we can do for that.
Is everything in miles an hour?
Here we go. I'm a little bit less like a ghost.
Not to knots, but I can't
There we go.
stop the thing. I am full brakes right now at idle, and I'm rolling.
I think I might be in and out still, so how's that? Is that better?
Not a good first impression.
Alright, a little bit better. And hopefully that didn't affect my frames too much. Yeah, it went down a little bit, but maybe it'll even out, so we'll see what happens.
Nice landing, Mike. I'm watching your stream.
Thank you.
Camera doesn't like me.
Yeah, those trees aren't supposed to be there, but it wouldn't be the first airport I've seen that at in real life.
So sorry that's slowing down. Just
Whose voice was
get it.
that?
You just getting in here, Brandon?
I had it muted for a while.
Oh. Mike mispronounced a town in New Hampshire wrong, so, you know, this guy was just infuriated and had to come tell us.
Alright, go back to automatic
Petersburg.
quality control, but I
On
don't
the one
know.
hand, everyone does that. On the other, everyone there gets upset when you do.
St. Petersburg, right?
It wouldn't help if he just literally read it off the sectional, but he did.
Alright, well, this VCam's working like crap right now. So you know what? I'm gonna go off camera for a second. We're also gonna reboot it. And then see what we could do. Let's see if it does anything. Alright, we'll reboot the camera. Sorry if the screen flashes for a second. But my frame rate just went to suckiness. Which is weird. I had very good frame rate until all that happened. So I don't know. I have no clue.
Hey, Mike, that ramp you're passing, that's where I flew Warriors out of with my dad.
Nice.
Frame rate's back. How about the camera? Is the camera back? I don't see the
Yeah, I'm
camera
gonna have to
back.
get a refund for this Kit Fox. That's just dumb.
I know what
You
he's
go to
talking.
change camera views, and it sticks your face in the panel.
Alright,
The Kit Fox
we'll let
for
it be,
X-Plane?
and hopefully that works.
Yeah.
So,
For 2020, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 2020, not X-Plane.
Yeah.
alright, we're
it's-
coming up
apparently
on
it's the same thing, just
Lawrence,
remodeled.
Massachusetts. I gotta turn on the Discord to
Oh,
warn you
I
for a second.
could
Give me
have
a
told
second.
you it was going to be bad just by looking at the pictures.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
I didn't realize they give you refunds. If they're going to give you a refund, it's not so bad to try it.
I mean,
The heck was that?
might not be able
Put
to
that
get it,
right
but
there.
try.
So, yeah, that effectively
They gotcha.
slowed down my
They gotcha
computer,
when
so I
you
might have to
only play on the market, they
get
gotcha
rid of the
by
camera.
quick bamboozle you, swindle
close
you.
that down. try closing some stuff down here and see if we can get this a little bit better. All right, close on the whole web browser. No, it just doesn't like that camera tonight. Interesting. Very interesting. Let me take off the preview here. I don't know, people. I'm trying. All right, let's take off the camera because it seems to be affecting the frame rates here. And I got some blocks to do. Sorry about that. Let's try this camera. All right. Well, we'll leave it there and see what we can do. I'm sorry if the stream sucks tonight with this, but we are over Lawrence, Mass right now, and doing well. So I do not know why it went down to there. So.
Found or know if they've found anywhere to leave feedback to Microsoft when you encounter issues?
We're just out of the class Bravo here. And again, I guess I'll have to take off that camera program because it just seems to be sucking up frames. I think that's the culprit. So, yeah, that was the culprit. So we'll just leave it off. Sorry, no camera for now. And that way we have our frame rate around 30 frames per second again. So I will have to investigate that. Usually it's not that bad. Lawrence, Massachusetts, right below us. Airport's over here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. I have flown here in real life, in the area at least, when I was going to Nashua, New Hampshire. That video is on YouTube, the Air Flight channel. But
I didn't realize how big Manchester is.
same type of flight. I overflew Boston at 8,500, and did all that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to send down to 6,500. I'm going to see if the altitude select will actually work now. Let's see if it works. All right, let's vertical speed down. This autopilot is a little finicky. And we'll also come back on the throttle a little bit. Believe it or not, it's like 25% or usually or somewhere around there that you're going to do a cruising descent tax. Again, the engine is that powerful, but you just got to kind of look and make sure that you're not going to go over speed on this. And we're going to hold it 6,500 because we're going to fly over the Manchester Class C airspace and seeing that I'm not in contact with any air traffic control at all. I'm just on that sim Unicom. No flight following, no nothing. We're going to stay at 6,500. Make our way over the Class Charlie and then land at Concord. That's our goal for tonight. So. Now, in the real world, I would probably be on approach and stuff, but we're in the sim. We're having fun. I'm flying the Cirrus for the first time on a fly-in. So, it's all good for now. Let's just make sure that this autopilot works because it has some quirks in it. So, ground speed, 134 knots still, even though we're at 30% power. I'll take it. And out there in the distance is Manchester. So. Manchester's out there. This is Nashua, I guess. Yep. And that is a airport I really landed at in the real world. Where to go? Actually, that's another aircraft down there. Probably with the Virtual USA Flying Club. The Microsoft Flight Simulators told us they don't have any call signs. So, check on Vatastic and see if we can spot who that is. And I'm going to move this over here. Vatastic, you might hear a sound here. My virus scanner for some reason doesn't like Vatastic, and it asks me if I want to connect every time. So, but indeed, that might be our founder, Mike Sinate, down there, the Virtual USA Flying Club, right in front of me at Nashua. Flying out of Nashua. There's also another aircraft there, November Alpha Sierra 25. So that would be one of these. Alright, let's see if it's holding at 6,500. We're still not there. Ground speed 130 knots. We're supposed to be at Concord in 12 minutes or so. Sorry, I just get. Let's monitor the weather here at Concord. If it's working, that is. 132.325. I didn't switch it over, that's why. Let me switch it over. There you go.
Kilo Charlie Oscar, November automated weather observation 2200 Zulu. Wind 286 at tree. Visibility.
Alright, we've got runway 30.
Sky condition clear. Temperature 14C dew point. 13C altimeter 2992.
2992, and everything's looking good. Alright. So,
Kilo
runway
Charlie
30.
Oscar, November automated weather.
We'll probably do a left base for runway 30. Let's make sure that they have a left traffic pattern there. They do. It's all left traffic patterns there. And 30 is a shorter runway, 3,200 feet, but we're going to try to make it happen. So, we're over Manchester class Charlie airspace here. And map. Display. That's the weather. See, it's nothing bad about the weather because I set it for VFR weather. Is it holding at 6,500? That's what we want to know. So, we'll crank up the speed here a little bit. Looks like it's going to hold at 6,500, but I can't trust the autopilot on these models yet because they are a little funky still. Someone told me there's going to be a patch number 2 coming out for the flight simulator, so I don't know about that, but and bearing should be 352. Wrong way. There we go. Manchester Airport should be off our left here. Front left. I don't see it yet. And like other people, I don't have trees either. At least I don't think I do. Let's look outside. Some people said they didn't have trees around here. I mean, I kind of do. I do, yeah. Manchester Airport right there. That's the other big airport around here.
Join the club today. The club is now over the 400 official member count.
Nice.
Who's your favorite member?
You're all my favorite members.
Good answer. Good answer.
Out of context, that might have sounded wrong too.
You sounded like a teacher there. Alright, so I turn up the output volume because that wasn't loud enough for me at least. Let's go back here. And hopefully I can hear them better. But send down to 4,500 now. So let's do the altitude selector, which seems to be working now. And then vertical speed down. I don't think the mixture does much in this model. I gotta be honest with you, because I'm touching it and it's not really affecting the RPMs that much at all. So I don't know. We'll read more about that later. Manchester International, right over there. Again, sorry about the camera tonight. Not going to be able to use the camera. It's dragging down my frame rate for some weird reason. So you'll just have to hear the sound of my voice. Sorry if that's upsetting. And I had a nice Cirrus background too for the virtual green screen, so that kind of sucks. But flying the Cirrus tonight, and we're going to Concord, New Hampshire as part of the free-for-all New Hampshire fly-in with the Virtual USA Flying Club. And picked the Cirrus for the speed, and also for the fact that I kind of been practicing with it a little bit lately. Ooh, excuse me, outside of the 172. So took a nap and overslept, and got on here and said, gotta get the Cirrus, gotta get there in a reasonable time. We're 4.5 minutes out. We're gonna do a left base for Concord, Kilo Charlie Oscar November. So let's call it pretty soon. Concord traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 8 miles to the southeast. We're going to be setting up a left base for runway 30, Concord. Okay, we'll start heading that way too. So we'll go about, I don't know, 20. And I'll look at my checklist here and get used to that. Is anyone at Concord right now?
I landed, but I just got off the
So there are no usernames in Microsoft Flight Simulator if you're using just the VAT sim, I take it. But I saw some beacons and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. Okay, make sure I'm out of class Charlie here. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's go more 30. Almost out of class Charlie. Then we'll descend down to 1350 or 1400 for pattern altitude. So top of class Charlie is 4,300.
Concord traffic, Cessna November 922 Delta Kilo, 5 miles from the field.
Concord traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 5 miles to the southeast on a left base for runway 30, Concord. And that looks to be Concord right there, so that's where we're going to land. And there was traffic here, but he said 5 miles. I don't know where he is, though. That's the whole thing. So, keep an eye out for any traffic. All right, let's descend all the way down now. So, 1,500, we'll set that up. We're also going to be on base here, so let's look at my checklist again for procedures. Descent. All right.
Concord traffic, November 922 Delta Kilo, going around.
He's going around. see him out there. So I don't know. Okay, we're gonna slow this thing down big time. And he doesn't show up here like other traffic does from Microsoft Flight Simulator, so. Oh, zoom out. No, so, but you can see I'm almost in the airspace. I'm gonna go wide on the downwind and do an extended final, so. Because I just don't see him, and that's, it's a little weird. Looking for lights, beacons, whatever I could see. It's like real life trying to find aircraft. But we'd be calling out a little bit more, so. I'm gonna get my position in a second. Oop. Keep going down. Okay. Again, a little more throttle in. Full rich, because we're almost at 3,000. It doesn't seem like the mixture really matters in this model, I guess. I don't know. And put 50% flaps in when we get there, which we are. So you know what? I'm going to take the autopilot off. I'm just going to fly by hand. Okay, 50%. Let's make sure the flap extension speed's good. I think it is. Yeah, 119, so we're good. We're right there. All right, 50% flaps. Come on. Here we go. I'm going to have to get way down here because Concord's off to my left there. And flap extension speed is 104, so we can do full flaps pretty soon. We're going to be at normal landing, 25% power, 85 knots, just as needed. And we're good. So I have to double check all that stuff just to make sure I know what I'm doing. So we'll compensate for that. Concord
I got
trap.
a question, guys.
Yeah. Hurry up, because I got a call.
What's up?
So if I'm like 10 miles out and the tower says enter a left downwind for a runway, do I enter it now or do I enter it when I would be closer to it?
This sun is being a
You
pain
would
in my
enter
butt.
it when it's the appropriate time to go into the downwind.
Thanks.
Concord traffic, Cessna Foxtrot, extended final for runway 30, Concord. Okay, full flaps.
Yeah, so it'd just be a normal downwind.
Level
You
out.
join left downwind at the 45 to
Get
the midfield
slower.
like you
There
normally
we go,
would.
full flaps.
I just wasn't sure. Thanks.
And that should slow us down. So let's get down to 85, but I can't see the runway with this sun. It's like real life, except I don't have shades to put on. But I'm looking at this light right here, and if not, oh wait, there it is. Duh. All right, runway 30. And that's why I extended
Concord
it down.
traffic, Cessna November 9er 22 Delta Kilo, and the downwind, the left downwind for runway 17 rather.
Concord traffic, Cessna Foxtrot, extended final 3 miles out for runway 30, Concord. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Did he say Concord? I don't even know if he said Concord. But pattern altitude again would be about 1400. It looks like we're on pretty good ascent. This is why we did the extended downwind. I mean the extended base, so that we can get a good setup here. But that sun is brutal. That can't happen in real life. So autopilot's off. So I can be a warning pretty soon saying you're going below 1500. And we're right on speed where we should be. So yeah. But 85 knots, we'll hold that all the way in.
500.
And we're looking pretty good. Concord traffic, Cessna Foxtrot, 2 miles out, final of runway 30, Concord. Did I just say Cessna? I probably said Cessna out of habit. Cirrus. Hello. I'll say that again when I have to. But I didn't hear anyone, so I think I'm good. I mean, I'm looking. I don't see anyone there. You? I don't.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks all.
Have a good one. Thanks for coming in.
Okay, looking pretty good. Push him down
I
just a little bit.
counted 19.
Keep it on 85. I think we're gonna be good.
One shy of the 20 mark tonight is what I counted. I know some people had left earlier for whatever reason, or
Throttles
for whatever reason, but I count 19.
Traffic November 922 Delta Kilo, turning left base for 17. 922 Delta Kilo.
There we go. Very good. Flaps up. And it sounded like he was 17 there, so I'm a little nervous. So we'll try to get this runway right here at this taxiway. So, and transit ramp's actually ahead. So, Concord traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot is crossing runway 17 en route to the transient ramp. Concord traffic. Yeah. Just get over here because I didn't want to get him to be.
Concord traffic 271, hearing a left downwind for runway 30, Concord traffic.
Concord traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, clear of runway 17. All right, keep that at 1,000. Let's do the checklist here. Flaps up, I already did. Power level 1,000. Transponder.
Concord traffic, Cessna November 922 Delta Kilo.
There you go.
On final for 17. 922 Delta Kilo.
We'll wait for him. And then, should we go somewhere else? Well, let's see what the briefing said on the event, because there were other non-towered airports. For some reason, I just don't want to deal with air traffic control tonight. But I do want to fly, so let's check out Sky Vector with all this. Like, I already flew to Nashua in real life, so I don't really feel an urge to fly there. But Keene and Laconia, well, let's see how far away we are from those. Can't be that far. So here's Concord to Keene.
Concord traffic correction, Cessna November 922 Delta Kilo on final for 35.
Not worry about weather right there.
Concord traffic.
That's not going to take us long. That's about a 50-minute flight. Let's check out Laconia. That's even faster. So I think we're going to go to Keene, and then from Keene we'll go to Laconia.
Concord traffic 271, turning left for runway 30. 271 Concord traffic.
So Keene, change that. You might see that update right here on the top of the stream right here. And let's do it. We have traffic over there. Let me update my GPS map here. I'm not going to pay attention to this at all, but I'll listen to my app on my thing there. You know what we could try too? I could try doing that camera again. So we'll see if it's working or not, the split cam. So.
Concord traffic 271 is on final for runway 30. Concord traffic.
Alright, how's that doing with the frames? You know, could be better. Alright, let's see what happens. Get about 20 frames per second. You can see me again. So, we'll leave it for now. I might have to take it off, though, if it becomes a problem. So, alright, I got some landing traffic in here. I've got my airport diagram, and I will do runway 17 like they're doing. So, just again, check my checklist. I'm not as familiar with the Cirrus.
Concord traffic, Cessna November 922 Delta Kilo, 0, runway 35. Concord traffic.
Pump, we're also going to change to the fullest tank, which should be the left one. Again, you want to do boost before you switch the tanks there. And I think we're good. We got all my lights on, stuff like that. The altimeter was 29902 last time I checked. Which, you know, we could listen to the radio again.
Kilo Charlie Oscar, November automated weather observation. Concord traffic 271, clear of runway 30. Concord traffic. Visibility, nighter. Sky condition,
Fun
clear.
event tonight. I gotta go.
Temperature 14C 2.13C, altimeter 29902.
Yeah. Alright, but we'll follow 17 because the winds aren't that strong. So we're going to go right over there.
Concord traffic, Cessna 816. 2 miles to the south inbound at 1,300. Going to overfly the field and enter a left-hand pattern, landing to the south, Concord.
Concord traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, taxi to runway 17, Concord. No one's here, but that way I'll know if anyone's landing too. Alright, we're going to go to Alpha. Do all that. We kept the engine running so there's no need for a run-up. And let's have some fun. Let's go to Keene. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set the map. Keene's, give me a second. Where are you? There you are. Direct. There we go. Alright, we're good now. That's the boost right there. Runway 17, is this it right here? I guess it is.
Concord traffic, Cessna 816, left downwind runway 17, Concord.
Alright, rotate 70, climb at 101. Concord traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, taking runway 17, departure to the southwest, Concord.
Good.
Should be good. I didn't see him. Real clear there. That's if the traffic's working. He's on downwind anyway, so I should have time. Alright, flaps 50%. See that they're going down. They are. Good. And we're on our way to Keene. So I haven't flown here in real life yet.
Concord traffic, Cessna November 902 Delta Kilo taxiing
Here we go.
to runway 35. But I'm just curious how, what's the best way to determine the active runway is on an uncontrolled field?
We have VFR weather going on, so some of us are just taking
Weather
active
report, however you can generate that is probably the best way. And I'm showing winds 180 at 3.
Okay, we'll get to 80.
Got it, thank you so much. I just didn't know there was no ATIS on this field that I could find, so I was not sure about that. Thank you. Yeah, correct. There is no ATIS here. You could probably pick up the Manchester ATIS, which is going to be pretty darn close, but again, if you have something like an external weather tool that you can pick up the winds, at least get a rough idea. That's kind of what we use. Thank you so much. 902 Delta Kilo.
I don't think we're going to have
Concord
to
traffic, Cessna 16, left base, runway 17, Concord
use
traffic.
autopilot here. So I'm going to try flying this one without autopilot. It's not that long. And we will get to pattern altitude of 1400 and take a right on course. Of course, we'll check both sides before we do that. But I don't see anyone out there. And they're out there. But that sim traffic is...
Concord traffic, Cessna 816 on the final runway 17, Concord.
Like railroad traffic, we clear on the right, so we're going to turn to 259 to go to Keene. I just kicked off the voice server, but now I'm on. And again, staying at 2,500, we should be pretty good. We'll have to trim it out.
Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima, X-ray 6 to the east for the left downwind, runway 17, Concord.
So we'll see how flying by hand goes.
Concord traffic, November 902 Delta Kilo, holding short of 17, waiting for the incoming traffic.
Okay, trim down. Here we go. 75. Alright, and we are on our way to Keene. Trimmed out pretty nice. Again, I'm doing like real world here. I'm using my honeycomb yoke and using my thumb here. But gotta keep an eye on that power. So I got 78. There we go. use this to steady my trim here. Okay, I'm going to be there in 14 minutes according to my GPS, but I'm climbing way too high. I spoke too soon about the trim.
Concord traffic, Cessna 816, we're clear of runway 17, Concord.
Concord traffic, aircraft currently on 17 for takeoff. You don't have any lights on, 271 Concord traffic.
That's Concord back there.
Concord traffic, November 922 Delta Kilo, lights on. Thank you for the
You don't see any of the flight VATSIM traffic here.
Concord traffic, no problem.
They're back there, so...
Concord traffic, November 922 Delta Kilo, taking off runway 17.
I was told that you didn't have to worry about that.
Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-rays left downwind for runway 17, Concord.
And I'm looking at the elevation on the sectional here. You know, we should go to 4,500. Has a point where it's 2,247 feet out there, so we'll go a little higher, 4,500. If you're watching, we're doing the New Hampshire free-for-all flying event.
Concord traffic, Cessna November 922 Delta Kilo, departed runway 17, turning right, westerly. Concord traffic.
Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray left base runway 17, Concord.
Leading the mixture out, but see what it does. I think it goes to about 2,600, but again, I'm not as familiar with the Cirrus, so have to do it. All right, we're on our direct track here. We're going to 256. Going to climb to 4,500. Sorry. And it's been a joy still to fly the Cirrus. I still have a couple things to get used to, but can't go wrong with the 300.
And Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray turning final runway 17, Concord.
With a $300-something thousand plane, you know, it's pretty good. But you see the sun's going down here. I planned that. I wanted an evening type flight. And we might go to Laconia after this. I'm still deciding. We'll land at Keene first, and let's get the weather in here on COM 2. Yep. No, that's the CDI, sorry. COM 2. .025. Check it out. COM 2. Here we go.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 2200 Zulu. Wind 286 at 3. Visibility neither. Sky condition clear. Temperature 14C dew point 13C altimeter 2992.
992. I heard that.
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 2200 Zulu. Wind 286 at 3. Visibility neither.
Alright, so they're saying
clear. Temperature 14C dew point 1.
Runway 32, unless I hear otherwise, so. And it's Dylan Hopkins Airport, if I got that right. That's what it is. But we're trimmed out pretty good. We're right around where we should be for cruise. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Bearing 257. Check that. The compass looking good. Yeah. All right, so we're hand flying the Cirrus. It is possible. You don't need autopilot all the time. And
Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray clear of runway 17, taxi to parking via Alpha, Concord.
on the CTAF for VATSIM, so no air traffic control needed here. And we'll call into Keene, which is really not Keene. It is, again, Dylan Hopkins, which is in Keene, New Hampshire. So I was told to actually fly here by a fan of the Eric Flight YouTube channel someday. Said there was cheap fuel, and I do want to get to New Hampshire, but there's two goals with that. One, to try to go there during the fall to see the foliage, even though I'm growing up and doing it all my life. I want to see it from the air. And two, to get my wife to go with me. it'll be in the Cessna 172P, though. But if we could do that, we could do anything. And I think it's more about making time to do that, seeing that we have kids and everything. But I feel like I almost got her to say yes at one point. So we'll have to see. We are 7.5 minutes out, 20 nautical miles out from Dylan Hopkins Airport, otherwise known as the airport in Keene, New Hampshire. So, very, very good. Ground speed's 159 knots. You can't beat that. So, and that's with 3% less power than your basic cruise power. But let's look outside now that I'm kind of level here. Pattern altitude's at 1500 here, and there are a couple mountains, which is mountain peaks, I should say small ones, so that's why I went to 4,500. Start ascent pretty soon, but I've never flown here, simulator nor real life, so this should be an adventure. It always is at any airport. Even flying it by hand, it's very, once you get it trimmed out and everything, it's really good. And again, we're at 159 knots ground speed, so I can see why people fly a Cirrus. I really can. You know, it's very sleek, it's very nice, and even though it's got all these fun controls on it, it's a basic aircraft. You know, it really is when you get down to it. So backup instruments are here. Case this goes down with the Garmin, so that's that variable pitch propeller there, which is integrated into the throttle handle. I couldn't understand that for the longest time. I thought they messed up on the modeling, but I don't know if it does that in real life, but I understand why it's doing it in the simulator. So it even comes with a carbon monoxide detector. How's that? Excuse me. All right, we're on track here. 12 miles out, so I'll give my beginning call here, trim down slightly, and here we go. Dylan Hopkins traffic says, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, we're 12 miles to the northeast, and we're going to set up, we're going to overfly the airport at 3,000 and set up a left 45 downwind to runway 32. That's for Dylan Hopkins.
Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, taxi runway 17 via Alpha, Concord.
Yep, all left hand. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We will now descend to 3,000. So let's get a cruising descent going on here. Lots of power here, so it doesn't take much power to get a cruising descent. So you have to go like 30, 25-ish. And it'll start settling down a little bit. Trim up slightly.
Concord traffic, Stagger Wing 748, Hotel Sierra is about 10 miles to the southwest inbound for landing. We'll plan on overflying the field, entering a left downwind for 17, Concord.
Concord traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, departing runway 17 to the west, VFR, Concord.
And the Concord traffic, Stagger Wing 748, Hotel Sierra is at 2,000 feet. We'll stay there until we cross the field, Concord.
So we're going to be overflying the airport, and that's going to happen in about 3 minutes or so. See if we can see it actually. I don't think we can see it yet, but by overflying, we'll be able to see it better than trying just to gauge it. So. Oh, look at that picture, huh? That's a screenshot. Okay, gonna trim up. One more throttle. Want to be at 3,000. Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, overflying the airport at 3,000, setting up a left downwind for runway 32. And we are, 5 miles to the northeast, Dylan Hopkins. See if we can see it now. Just trim up a little bit. There it is, right there, I think. It's right over here. So we'll overfly it and get it going. Why isn't this climbing? Come on, climb. There we go. Right over the airport. And then we'll, again, intercept with a teardrop, a left downwind for, left 45 downwind for runway 32. Get some lighting going on here. Panel lighting, clear shield, and floodlights. Good enough for me right now. Alright. Very simple controls on this. This is your de-icer in case you get some structural icing. Turn that on. Do your thing, but we're flying right over the airport. Everything's looking really good. Didn't hear anyone down here at Keene at all. They have some lighting going on, which is good. What runway is that? That's runway 2. So we can head out here. 745 to runway 32. We're all set. Alright, we're going to start our descent down to 1,500. And we're going to fly this all manually. So. Tell you one thing, by flying the Cirrus, save some time on the flying, and I can get in flights a little easier with little kids, so. All good. Okay. Cruising the descent down. Put about 30-ish, somewhere in the 30s. There we go. Trim up a little bit so it's not going to descend too much. Swing up to the right, clear on the right. That sun is brutal, just like real life. Someone needs to make some virtual sunglasses. Jesus. I'm feeling it, even though it's a computer screen. Maybe it's because I'm tired. I don't know. Alright. And take a left-hand turn here. A little teardrop. What we're doing here. Just want to clear these mountains. There's the airport back there. You can also see on the movie map here. Okay, the airport being out there. A lot more better visuals here than the, you know, out the window than the Cessna, but Cessna will always have part of my heart since the plane I learned to train in as a private pilot, so. Alright. There we go. That freaks me out with that variable pitch propeller, but more of a 90-degree angle here, but here we go. Dylan Hopkins traffic, Sirius 89er Foxtrot, 40, left downwind 45, runway 32, 3 miles out, Dylan Hopkins. And we'll now turn slightly. I like where I'm at. I'm going to drop 50% flaps when I get a beam of numbers here. And we're a little wide, but I'm not as familiar with this airport. Yeah, it's okay. A little low. There's the runway underneath the wing there. So we're parallel, pretty much. Alright, let's do it. Bring the power down to 25-ish.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is 10 to the northwest, inbound for landing for a full stop. Dylan Hopkins traffic.
Get to 119. Dylan Hopkins traffic, Sirius 89er Foxtrot is left downwind for runway 32, Dylan Hopkins. 50% flaps. We're way far out here, but it's cool. We're going to turn left base.
Team traffic, 64 Papa Lima is about 4 nautical miles out from the airport, doing a straight-in landing for runway 32. Okay.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Sirius 89er Foxtrot. We're turning left base for runway 32, Dylan Hopkins. Oh, here we go. We got some aircraft there, so we gotta be careful. I have someone on visual for final for runway 32 at Dylan Hopkins. Please advise. All right, we'll join behind.
500.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Sirius 89er Foxtrot. We're gonna be number 2 for landing on runway 32. Dylan Hopkins, we're gonna join the traffic that's on final. Well, it'd be nice to have a position report on it, but that's okay. Okay.
Team traffic, 624 Papa Lima entering, we're going to circle the airport around for landing traffic.
Keen traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is 5 miles to the northwest. I'll enter the left downwind on a 45 for runway 32. Dylan Hopkins traffic.
Dylan Hopkins, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, we're now number 1, final landing runway 32, Dylan Hopkins. Alright, we gotta circle that there, that messed me up a little bit. But let's put 100% flaps in, get situated on 85 knots, and the airport's off to my right still. There it is.
500.
So I'm still above pattern altitude, but I did it on purpose because these hills here. It's a little concerned. That was not typical.
Dylan Hopkins, Epic 7 Lima X-ray is 10 to the east for runway 32. Dylan Hopkins.
Dylan Hopkins, traffic 64 Papa Lima, entering left downwind for runway 32.
Dylan Hopkins, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, final for runway 32, Dylan Hopkins. They should be looking for me. This guy is not an aircraft. That's just because there's not a lot of models in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but he's with us, so he did veer to the right for me, so I have to thank him. Let's get down to 85 knots.
500.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa is 2 miles to the west of the field, maneuvering to enter on the 45 to left downwind, runway 32, Dylan Hopkins traffic.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, still final for runway 32, just about there, Dylan Hopkins.
Aircraft on final, how far are you out on from the runway?
Literally just about to land, 89 Foxtrot.
Okay, thank you. Dylan Hopkins traffic 64 Papa Lima, entering the right base for runway 32.
Alright, here we go.
And Dylan Hopkins traffic 64 Papa Lima, entering final for runway 32.
Come on, let's go. It's floating.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa is established on the 45 entry to the left downwind, runway 32, Dylan Hopkins traffic. And we have traffic on final in sight.
We're going to have to turn this around. So, Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cessna 89 Foxtrot, back taxiing on runway 32. I'm going to depart the runway. Dylan Hopkins traffic.
Dylan Hopkins traffic 64 Papa Lima, going around for traffic.
If you just slow down a little bit, you could get in there.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa is on left downwind, runway 32, Dylan Hopkins.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, clear of runway 32, Dylan Hopkins. Okay, let's pull in over here.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray. We'll do a right downwind entry for runway 32. Traffic in sight. Dylan Hopkins.
Pull in over here, where the terminal would be. I don't see a terminal though, do you? Nope.
Dylan Hopkins traffic 64 Papa Lima, entering left downwind for runway 32.
Let's pull off to the apron.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa, turning left base 32, Dylan Hopkins.
There's no one to guide me here. I'm surprised because there seems to be excessive ground control everywhere you go. Alright, let's keep it at 1,000. Keep the engine on here. Let's see the fuel tanks. Yep, switch to the right. Power boost is on before I do that.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa, final runway 32, Dylan Hopkins.
Look at some of the traffic here. You know what? Let's set the drone out. Hopefully I don't crash at all. But there's someone who just landed behind me. We have someone on finals. Let's go check them out for a second.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray is on a right downwind for runway 32, giving way to the left downwind traffic. Dylan Hopkins.
Wow.
Dylan Hopkins traffic 64 Papa Lima, turning left base for runway 32.
I would extend that. Wait till he passes your wingtips. There you go. Let's see how they stick this landing here. There we go. Drone's coming in with them. And looks pretty good. Don't land on the arrows. Oh, a little early, but it might have just been the bad sim, you know. That was a good landing. That's a good landing. And we got one more coming in. I would have extended the downwind just a little bit though to give myself more time, but that's cool. He is not a big jet, by the way. That's just the model matching from VATSIM with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. But it looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Pop is clear of runway 32 on Sierra. Dylan Hopkins.
And we'll join what is not a jet. Finally, this is going to be fun. And then we'll go to Laconia, call it a night, I think. We could call it a night from here, but we'll see. Look at that. You don't see that every day in Keene, do you? Wow. Sunk in there a little bit. Nice landing. Yeah. Good job. Another fellow member. Somewhere over here.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray is on a 2-mile final runway 32, Dylan Hopkins.
There's a lot of guys coming in now. See them out there. Let's get back in the plane. And let's plan our escape to Laconia. Let me get that in the tablet here. Direct to Laconia. We're good. All right. That again's a VAT USA member right there. VAT Virtual USA Flying Club. Sorry. And there's someone landing right there. 37, and there should be a big jet who's coming in right behind me right there. So should be okay. He's overtaking me actually, but it's cool. This is not real life, people. So yeah, it doesn't register crashes, which is good because he parked right near me. All right. I just got squashed by a jetliner.
Oh?
It's just the modeling and stuff, but I've been setting the drone out to see landings at Keene with everybody, and it looked really good. It was like, looks to be like a 737 or something. He landed. I know it's not really a 737. No.
Yeah, there was some guy in a Comanche right next to me.
Yep, and then you're right on top of me, but don't feel bad because it's kind of hard to see in Microsoft Flight Simulator with all this stuff. Enjoy the parking. All right, we're gonna head out of here to Laconia.
What I'm annoyed about is that you can't really see other traffic besides anybody who's using MLFS. And, like, so for example, anybody using Airspeed, you can't see them. At least for me.
Oh, because in Microsoft Flight Simulator, we don't have call signs anymore, so it's like real life where you have to look for like the nav lights and everything. So it's just, you really gotta watch your radio calls and stuff, but don't feel bad. All right, Laconia.
Mike, I see you off to my left.
We're gonna get weather report again.
For you.
Well, it's kind of
Kilo Echo Echo November automated weather observation 2300 Zulu. Wind 285 foot 3. Visibility niter. Sky condition clear. Temperature 14C dew point. 13C altimeter 2992.
All right, so we're gonna take off to 32 again and go Laconia. So with that, I'm gonna go Romeo.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa, taxiing to runway 32 for departure via Romeo Alpha. Dylan Hopkins.
And Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot. We're gonna join you second on that taxi via Romeo Alpha, Lima to runway 32, and that's Dylan Hopkins.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray clear of runway 32, taxi to parking via Sierra. Dylan Hopkins.
Here tonight, so. And This is gonna be cool because we're gonna see the nighttime switch here, but we're following our friend there out to runway 32. So, fuel boost is still on, correct? Yep. All right, just checking. Mixture is all the way in. Flaps will be 50% before we take off, and that should be good. Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cessna 8, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, correction, crossing runway 20 via Alpha. Dylan Hopkins. It doesn't take much power to make this thing move on a taxi, so. But I think the night light is going to go up a little bit. And less on the floodlight, more on the glare shield. Very good. All right, over here, there should be a hangar or two, but that's not here either. That's all right. You know, someone could just touch up this airport over time. Going a little fast, I pulled it through.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 73 Papa is taking taxiway Lima at 32. Dylan Hopkins.
Taking Lima. See how close we are here. Very good. No run up needed because we didn't really shut the engine off. We know it's working. And I haven't decided if I'm going to fly this one by hand or not. I might not. Nice taxi light in the middle of the taxiway. That irks me to no end. I send that into Microsoft for a fix. I was like, you gotta fix that. There's no need for that. So should be a whole short point here somewhere. Regardless. And Laconia is going to be my last destination tonight, so I'm going to make this one good. But again, we went from Plymouth all the way to Concord.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, taxi to runway 32 via Romeo Alpha Lima. Dylan Hopkins.
Change the fly live thing for you, so I just reloaded that thing on top. I'll give you an ETA, probably in, I don't know if it's in simulator time or not. It's actually, I think it is. It says it's 23:16 Zulu, so that would make it, let's see, 7:16 at night. And the stars are coming out, and I did that on purpose because I want to go from day to night on these flights. So, all right, we're holding for this aircraft right here.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is taking runway 32. I'll be a left downwind departure for eastbound VFR. Dylan Hopkins traffic.
We're going to be going to the northeast to Laconia. Who knows? Maybe I should fly back to Plymouth too, but we'll see. I got on this pretty early tonight. But he's taking that. And you know what? Let me show you something else with this background while we have time here. I'm going to switch to the nighttime background. Yep, that's right. We have not just daytime, but also nighttime in the Cirrus. There you go. It's just loading over. Give it a second. There you go. That way, a little more realistic as it gets dark around here. Don't see any landing traffic here, hopefully. I think we all came in at like the same time here, so. But he's taking off, and I'll wait till he departs. Good. Should be about 1,000, which is about 5%. Dylan Hopkins traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot taking runway 32, departure to the northeast. Dylan Hopkins. 50% flaps. Very good, and they went down. Let's get on that runway. Now at nighttime, as long as people leave their lights on, we should be able to see them a little easier.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is turning left downwind for a left downwind departure. VFR to the east. Dylan Hopkins.
And we can use all this runway. It's a shorter runway here, so I would like to start my roll from here. We're good. All right. Rotate at 70, retract the flaps at 80, and climb at 101 after that. So here we go. Rotate at 70. Rotate to about 13 degrees. 80. Tracting the flaps. That's how we do it. It looks like we're going to have to increase the panel here. Glare shields all the way. And the floodlight is good. All right. I haven't determined altitude yet, but again, we're not using air traffic control. We're going to the non-tower airports for a reason.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, departing runway 32, left crosswind, eastbound VFR, Dylan Hopkins.
Okay. Now, hopefully, he sees me.
Dylan Hopkins traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is clear of the pattern. Dylan Hopkins.
Turn to the right. Clear on the right. Here we go. On to where we're going. Which is Laconia. Big time place for biking rally and stuff. So let's climb at let's say 4,500 for now. So there's Keene. Goodbye, Keene. Okay, we gotta trim it up so I don't have to keep holding this in. Go. Right about a little bit more. Right about there. Check our fuel, make sure it's looking good. We're on the right, so that's good. Just gonna burn that off a little bit more. Again, I'm gonna climb to 4,500. I'll lean the mixture, but again, on this model, for some reason, it just seems like the mixture doesn't do much. You see the RPM going up, I already have it down halfway. Went up by 1. I don't know. Could be something with the controllable pitch propeller. So if anyone's experienced with the Cirrus, let me know. Because I'm a little confused when it comes to that. But I'll leave it there. Doesn't seem to be suffering or anything. There's no EGT gauge or anything like that. Just didn't see any. We're getting up to 4,500. Basically on course. Ground speed of 138 knots. While climbing, by the way, so definitely way faster than a Cessna. And we're about 21 minutes out from Laconia. How's that for speed? I mean, that is just amazing. It's amazing that a prop airplane can get this fast. All right, let's lower the power a little bit. On the nose. Up there, that's that prop that's built into the throttle. And just trim it out here. All right, so we are in the dark now here in New Hampshire. Everything's looking pretty good. Nothing really to look at here except for lakes, rivers, and some towns. What's that out there? Is that some buildings, towers maybe? Because I don't see anything over there. But one thing that I do want to look into once I'm a little more experienced in the real world flying is they have a runway, and it's right near Laconia, and it's called Alton Bay. And when it freezes off up enough over the winter, they actually use it as a runway. It's the only like ice runway in all of North America, maybe. You know, that's officially sanctioned by the FAA. So this year it didn't freeze up enough for anyone to land there, but they do allow people to land on it. And I would probably bring someone with me that's experienced on that, though, because I took the FAA workshop on that, and you have to like not break it all, treat it like a short field, you know, still intend on gliding on the ice. So just another one of those experiences that I wanted to have as a private pilot. Definitely take someone with me though, so maybe I'll take my flight instructor. He never gets to go anywhere. That's the way I feel. He seems to be okay with it, but he's an older gentleman. He actually worked as a science teacher at my the high school I teach at, and it'd be nice to say, hey, I don't care if I have to pay. Let's go do it. You know, and just have someone that experienced go with me. So, but if there's any other CFIs out there, you let me know, and I might do it for a once in a lifetime chance, and you could help me with it. So, all right, we trimmed out pretty good. This trims out very nicely compared to the Cessna. And again, I'm using the thumb trim, just like they do in the real world here, right here. So, looks pretty good. That city in the distance might be Hillsborough. No, that might be Concord out there, so, because the airport's over there too, so. But the night lighting, way better than any simulator I've ever used. And you can see the sun still setting over there in the west, so. But yeah, ground speed, 165 knots. You can't beat that. This is a propeller plane? Let's take a look outside. I got someone in front of me. Right there. Let's keep going direct. Keep an eye out for them. More traffic out there, I think. But Keith is way back there in the distance. Definitely have someone underneath me. Is anyone direct from Keene to Laconia right now? No, someone's out there. So notice that it does not show up in the moving map like the Microsoft Flight Simulator traffic does. That's okay. We just want to keep our eyes out. It's real VFR flying here, so let's keep your eyes out. There's another plane out there, it looks like. This is all VATSIM traffic. I turned all the other traffic off. So, pretty cool to see it like real life where there's no call signs. I mean, kind of sucks in one way too because you don't get to see who it is. But if you go to VATtastic, it should show you who it is. Like over here we have November 7 Lima X-ray is right below me. Steve Sharp. And I don't know if he's a member of the Virtual USA Flying Club, but he's at 2,500. We have another member off to the right here. Matthew Kazin, November 1457 uniform. So, but yeah, we're on our way to Laconia. So, seems to be even more traffic down there, so that's pretty cool. And I should have filed a flight plan. Let me do that now. I should have done that for the other one too, but that's all right. Keene, Laconia, we're at 4,500. There's that traffic right in front of us. So. It's like real life with the VATSIM traffic, which is kind of cool, I think. Again, it just sucks that you can't see who it is unless you look at VATSIM. I mean, Fantastic or Simualtor. But Lebanon, I don't want to go to the control tower airports tonight. Just wanted to have some good time right here. Probably gonna try flying in the real world at night a little bit more now that it's getting darker earlier out. So I didn't get to do a lot of night flying in my training, obviously, because we try to condense that. And the last time I got night current, I think, was January. So it's if I'm gonna take passengers up, some of my friends want to go up at night. We have to do 3 full stop landings. But the last time I did it, I did it in 21 knot gusts, which for me was right up the upper echelon of where I want to be gust wise. But I was crabbing the plane like this, and I was going straight for the wind. So it was good practice for that. I literally did the 3 full stop landings. It was so cold. It was probably single digits up at the pattern altitude. It was really cold. I got the 3 landings done, and I called it a night. Oh, and the door popped open on the 152 that night too. So it was a nice adventure. We'll just call it that. So, but we're hand flying the Cirrus here, very stable aircraft. I did autopilot on the way up, and I might do autopilot on the way back if I decide to go to Plymouth, return to Plymouth. But we're currently on the Laconia, Kilo Lima Charlie India.
Laconia traffic, King Air 620 Victor landing up runway 08, VFR departure.
08. Alright, cool. We can do a direct in then, extended final. That might be Laconia out there. We're about 26.5 nautical miles out. Again, I should have some traffic in front of me. Nothing like having an ADS-B receiver right now, I'll tell you that. They don't have a virtual one of those yet, I don't think, but that would be cool if someone made that. Put it in the Avere app, you know? And I was told that was possible, but one, I don't have time to program, and two, I'd have to relearn everything program-wise. I haven't programmed in a long time. The closest I came to that was making the Bayport scenery for Prepared and FSX for the last time, but there's that aircraft in front of me. So he's at 2,500. So I'm using the VAT test kind of like it's Steve Sharp, which I don't know if he's a member now. I'm gonna check that now. He might be. The name sounds familiar for some reason. I don't know. So Mike, I have to ask you, have you ever flown a Cirrus in real life? He's not answering, but he's on the channel, so I don't know. We'll leave it there. We will do a extended final for runway 08, runway 8.
Laconia traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray is 10 to the southwest for a straight-in runway 8, Laconia.
That's what I'm going to do. All right, pattern altitude is 1,500 or so. So let's start heading down. Watch some guy online teach, flight instructor teaching him, getting a student how to land a Cirrus. But then I had to go in the POH for all the speeds and everything, just get used to it. So pretty much 50% flaps beam the numbers, and then 100% as you get on final to bring you down to 85 knots. That's your normal landing on this. So. But we will report outside Laconia at 12 nautical miles. That seems to be him, I think, landing for runway 8. So we're going to be number 2 if we get close enough, but I'm going to give some distance here. And north of this would be where I really want to go someday, which is Mount Washington Regional. I want to land there someday. Military operations areas and everything over there. And the furthest north I've been is Nashua, New Hampshire. So warming up, the flight would cost a little bit more than what I usually spend, but I had to cancel tomorrow's flight. I have some work-related stuff I got to get done. Oh, I just hit the trim wheel by accident. Good job, Eric. Good job. There's no trim wheel on this, by the way. And I take evasive action. I try to keep this thing flying. Oh my God. See how much that went down though? Look at that. Jesus. All because
Laconia traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, 5 mile final runway 8, Laconia.
Oh my God. I'm going to be about 3%, so that is no good. So, yep, no, a little too much still. God, that trim wheel. So sensitive, even on the Cessna. So. That was scary for a second. Sorry about that. I just grazed the trim wheel with my hand. Laconia traffic, Cirrus 89 or Foxtrot. We're 12 miles out to the southwest. We're going to set up a directed extended final for runway 8, Laconia. Also have landing traffic in sight for 89 or Foxtrot. That's it. That's the runway. Easy to see at night, isn't it? Have some towers out there. Mount Washington is to our front left, so that's the tallest peak in New England. They say that you can see Boston from there on a clear day.
Laconia traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, 2 mile final runway 8, Laconia.
Kind of cool, the VATSIM traffic here. I wish the model matching was better than that. We had more models, but the night nav lights and the beacon and the strobes are cool. So, again, do not understand why the Cirrus does not have a beacon. You think it would. Don't know what the reasoning was on that. And you're forced to use strobes then at night while you taxi. Because the strobes are used as anti-collision, which is used to let people know engine's on. So that's quite interesting that they made that design that way. Laconia traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, 8 miles out, extended final, runway 8, number 2 for landing, Laconia. I wonder if that NDB is still in service. It's on the sectional, so it's not crossed out or anything, but they are slowly getting rid of those. That would be the LC NDB. So I don't even think I have an NDB receiver on here.
Laconia traffic, Epic 7 Lima X-ray, clear of runway 8, taxi to parking via Alpha, Laconia.
Okay, let's get my chart out here. No, there really is no chart, so let's get my maps out for Google then, so I can see where people park here. And if I had to, I would have researched this way in advance in the real world to see where people park. And I do use Google Maps if there's no airport diagram, just to get an idea. Sometimes the airport actually puts on there and tells you where to park. Like when I flew to Block Island that time, they have a whole bunch of different airports for different things. There's one that's a restaurant ramp. There's another one that's where I parked for the last video, which is transient tie-down parking. So, seem to be doing pretty good on the glide here. So I'm gonna leave it alone. And we'll put in 50% flaps. We just have to dial down throttle. I think we have to be at 119, right? 119 and then 104 on the full flaps. So, yeah. Way down. Laconia traffic's Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, final for runway 8, Laconia. Yeah, I want to slow this down, so let's even it on a little bit.
500.
Yep, I got ya. Come on now. Get down there. 50% flaps. And we're going to go to final. Flaps there to a second. Okay, full flaps. Here we go. Should be about 85.
500.
And I didn't really get that up there, but we'll check it out in a second. 85. Doesn't take much power, does it, to get there? Alright, we'll taxi off and then we'll look at it. So, a little low here, so get more throttle. I could have set that up a little bit better. Okay. Gotta be okay, but there we go. Throttle out right about now. There we go. Look at that virtual nav there. It's pretty sweet to have, huh? Come on now, you're floating way too much. Not like a normal aircraft at all. Alright, flaps up. And let's just get off the runway here. Seems to be a taxiway right there. Looking for the yellow line. There we go. Man, that virtual thing down there, I don't really look at it a lot, but does a pretty nice job. And let's get clear. Wow, look at that. You're not used to that at all. Technology, I'll tell you. Laconia traffic, Cirrus 89 Foxtrot, clear of runway 8, so Laconia. Okay, let's see where we're going with this. Also checklist, flaps are up. Speed should be 1,000. And yeah. Where'd you go? Oh, here we go. Alright, we should park. Ooh, we should take a left out here. Go straight down, right, then left. Here we go. Alright, here we go. And checklist just to make sure after landing. Flaps up power. Yeah, we're good. Fuel pump should be off. Okay. It's fine with me. Here we go. That's what it says at least. We gotta turn that back on before we switch tanks. I'm still in awe over this whole virtual thing right here. Look at that. It's like night and day. I'm so used to having to look out the thing all day, but I would still look out the cockpit. I'm not going to focus on that screen. So. All right, I do have a crudely drawn airport map, so we will be taking a right here. As soon as I see that yellow line, there we go. These taxi lights are in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know what's going on with that, but and a left. And these taxi lights are terrible. And there should be an apron over here to the right. So we shall see. This building would probably be the apron. Very dark. All right, we'll pull over here. And you know what? I think we will fly back to Plymouth. We'll make it a complete flight here. So, but yeah. All right. I guess that's parking here. 1,000. Keep the engine running. Get everything set up for flight back to Plymouth. Well, I'm glad I joined. That was fun. And you guys have a great night. We'll see you soon. All right. See what's going on here. Seeing all the messages I missed. We surpassed 400 members of the Virtual USA Flying Club today. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm wondering if they got a count on that. So yep. All right. Well, regardless, we're going to be going back to Plymouth. So let's make it happen. In the Cirrus, it should only take a shorter time, and that's why I'm agreeing to do this. So, okay, direct to Plymouth on my tablet, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but runway 8 will be to the left and out there. No run-up needed. We kept it running, and that's it. We're going to end it in Plymouth, my home base in real life. So, after landing, we're good. All right, I'm going to put the full fuel boost back on. We'll switch to the best tank here. It looks to be about the same right now, so we're going to leave it. And without further ado, we'll taxi out of here. So here we go. Seems like everyone from the Flying Club has pretty much called it a night. We're just going to fly back to Plymouth. And I'm going to use this virtual thing because it is really dark here. Very good. That's that fuel boost there. These taxi lights, you can't even trust them. Like this one's in the middle of a taxiway, or it's on the edge of an apron. So I wouldn't be able to discern that in real life. Now, I would also think that the landing light would be a little bit brighter, which I'm sure that there must be a setting for that, but it's all right. We'll just deal with what we got. Summer plans were shot for real life flying. I was going to have one really long destination flight, but we made up for that. It wasn't long flights, but Martha's Vineyard was very nice, and Nashua was cool. I liked going to Nashua. I took my flight school friend up in that one. So, but all right, here's the whole. What's the ILS? Hold short, I believe. So we're good. I mean the IFR. Hold short, so we can keep going here. And the hold short should be. Yeah, there it is down there. All right. No one on final. No one on base. No one down one. No one out there at all. And we should be good to go. So here we go. Laconia traffic. Cirrus 89er Foxtrot departing runway 8. Departure to the south. Laconia. flaps. I forgot. I thought I retracted my flaps. Weird. Alright, give me a second. Let's, well, I can't even see it 'cause there's no flashlight. We'll go with it. Alright. Push the button to retract flaps. Okay, lining up, runway 8. And back to Plymouth. And I will definitely doing more flights in the Cirrus, but as far as the around the USA flights, have to do those in the 172. Don't really have a choice on that. Started with it, and that's what I fly in the real world, along with the 152, so that's what I'm going to use on those. But the Cirrus would be fun to do long flights on. Alright, with that, we're going to rotate at 70, climb at 101, and retract the 50% flaps at 80. Here we go. Different type of flight tonight, though, with the Cirrus. Very fast. And I get to use my Logitech USB throttle quadrant instead of the TPM, so. Alright, rotate. Go to about 13. We're at 80, retract the flaps, and I'm going to make sure they retracted. They did. This time the button worked. And we'll get back on the runway. Oh my god. Good. And we got a visual here. About 11, 12 degrees is about 101, so that's what we pitch for. And on that video I saw on YouTube of the training, he said click the trim up 3, but that doesn't work here in the simulator. So you just kind of have to visualize where you got to be and trim it out where you want it to be. We're almost at pattern altitude already. And we will use Autopilot on this, so. Let's get a vertical speed of about 1300 on here.
Engaging Autopilot.
See if it does that. Why is it not doing that? I don't know. No. Alright. The altimeter's got to be set at something else. So let's go to 9,500. Let's really push this thing. 1, 2, 3. Good. Vertical speed will go up. It's about 1,400. There we go. Getting used to Autopilot still. Up. Trim up. Trim up. Terrain. Alright, it kicked in. This Autopilot's wonky though. It really is. Really wonky. Let's make sure it doesn't stall or anything. And my heading should be 180. So let's dial that in here. I'll set the Autopilot for heading. And life should be good. But let's see if this keeps it from stalling, because it has a tendency to stall once you set everything. Autopilot all the way back to Plymouth. It's saying it's going to take, it's 105 nautical miles, and I'm at a ground speed of 128 knots. So we'll see. We're still climbing though. And we're going 9,500 to fly over Bravo. So we'll get to see Boston at night too, which is cool. I got some traffic out there by 11 o'clock. And should probably make sure the flight plan says to Plymouth. And we'll call it 50 minutes. I guess we're flying against the wind now, so but it's cool. And now air traffic control will know where I'm going. Bearing 180. Right. Okay. Make it there. It's nice to have some hands-off flying here too as well. Demonstrate a little bit of everything. That's Laconia out there in the distance, so we'll see you on Laconia. And there is some aircraft to our south. One is at 1,000. Another is at 11,000. He's going to Maine. Someplace we're not allowed to go in real life right now because they have COVID quarantine going on over there.
Laconia traffic, Goose 71, 5 mile turning final for runway 8. Laconia traffic.
You can't even hear the engine roar when I pull the mixture down, so, but that is doing its thing and stalling again. So let's lower the angle of attack here. Keep climbing, keep climbing. Got you at full throttle, so let's go. I don't think the mixture's working on this model, which is pretty sad. See, I just leaned it out until it did that, 10. So we'll just leave it there. I don't know what to do. But off to our left would be Portland International, maybe, which is Maine. I have to add that little light to my webcam background here. Didn't remember to do that. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, seats are somewhat realistic. I guess I could get really fancy if I wanted to, but the question is, do I really want to? Probably not. Everything's on autopilot right now, so. See that mixture though? Look, it's at 9%, and it did absolutely nothing to the RPMs. Manifold pressure is controlled by the prop, which is connected to the throttle. So, I don't get it. I don't know. It says it should take us about 45 minutes or so to get to Plymouth. So we are working against the wind right now, I guess. Ground speed's 130 knots, but we'll see when we get to 9,500. We'll also get a nice shot of Boston.
Laconia traffic, Goose 71, on 2 mile final, runway 8, touch and go. Laconia traffic.
Here's the traffic out there. Here we are. And then we got these aircraft out here. So again, I am going to be over slightly to the right of Manchester, Class C, so there's no need to go there. I don't want any air traffic control. I just want to fly without it. Didn't feel like doing it tonight. And we got some JetBlue traffic here. United Airlines. Oh, excuse me. Someone else over here in a TBM 9. So there's a couple flights in Boston. Kind of exhausted. This is even with a nap, so.
Concord traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is 8 miles to the south, inbound, full stop landing, runway 35, Concord.
Now I'm increasing the mixture. Nothing's happening. No RPMs, no power increase, no nothing. But if I go to like 9, it does that D10, and it kind of lets you know, hey, you got to put it back. So. You know who else inspired me to look into this Cirrus when I got the flight simulator? Nico's Wings. It's this guy on YouTube. He flies one for business and pleasure. And he heads all around the country in that thing. It's really, really cool to see some of the flights he does.
Laconia traffic, Goose 71, clear of runway 8. Laconia.
We're getting up to 9,500, which is our cruising altitude. And we just get to sit back, relax on our way back to Plymouth. So. Build that speed up. I'm at full throttle right now, so 75% power is where I want it to be. And we will take it. Ground speed. As we level out here.
Concord traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is on a 4-mile left base for runway 35, Concord.
We're at 154 knots ground speed, so we're picking up some speed. So it's not going to take us a total of 50 minutes, maybe more like 40. But everything looks good here. So there's some functionality that they don't have here compared to the real world stuff. But it's getting there. So. I mean, it sounds like a jet unless you hear that little whir there. And it travels pretty fast for a prop, so. To the right would be Pennacook and Concord, New Hampshire. So.
Manchester approach, November 737, Mike Bravo, ready to taxi.
And we're over speed a little bit, so let's drop down to 65 or so.
An airplane on frequency, you're on CTAF right now?
Say again for Mike Bravo?
You're on CTAF. I think you're looking for a different frequency for Manchester approach.
I am. Thank you.
No problem.
Back this off again a little bit more. Let's go to 60%. Yep, that's that prop. What's going on?
Concord traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is turning final, runway 35, Concord.
It's like a gear shift almost, you know? Alright, let's try 65. We'll leave it where it is, that's fine. We're obviously to the top here, so. 159 knots ground speed. I'm not going to knock it. And someday on the simulator, I have to fly over Salem, New Hampshire, where they have Canopy Lake Park, which is an amusement park, and see how it looks from the air. I did a flight kind of like that. I'm prepared before, but obviously the amusement park wasn't there, so. Yeah, we're flying direct. I'm gonna go over Bravo to Plymouth, so. Take a look outside, shall we? Again, oh, it should have rotating feet. But it doesn't. Even throw one.
Concord traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa, clear of 35 on Alpha 3, and we'll be taxiing back for departure for runway 35, Concord.
Laconia traffic, 271 taking off runway 8, departure to the southeast, Laconia.
I don't have that written down. I should probably have that written down. VA, full gross, 133. Yeah, I should probably go a little bit slower on the throttle here. So, here we go. So I'd say, let's try 55. Or 60, because it seems to be holding there. One of my Eric flight favorite people that I like to deal with, he told me on my last flight that I should probably pay attention more to maneuvering speed. So I'm going to start doing that more. He was right, but I didn't feel like I was in danger. I wasn't going to do any abrupt maneuvers, but it's something that you really have to think more about, so I'm going to focus more about that on all flights here. So we're about right at maneuvering speed right now for the Cirrus. At full gross, it's 133. And obviously it's lower for not full gross. check out our fuel situation here. May have to switch tanks. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to the left. The boost is on, so that's good. On to the left. That variable pitch propeller's kicking in there a little bit. And our ground speed is still 152 knots. So. Looks really nice here. See if I can do night lighting on the LED lighting. That's helping me light my face here. Don't know if it'll come out realistic or not. You know what? I got an autopilot. I'm gonna give it a quick second while I turn off the lights in the room. I will disappear for a second. Be right back. Came out of nowhere. See, I'm like a ghost. And I think I lost my microphone again. Oh no, I got it. Oh, cool. That wasn't working earlier, so I think something was not connected right. Heading 181, so we'll adjust this slightly. There we go. Yeah, things look good. 154 knots ground speed. Interesting seeing Boston at night, but Manchester is out here to our right over here. That's a big city. I had some relatives that I really don't know about, but my family came from France to Canada, and then they made their way down through New Hampshire. So Manchester had a couple of my relatives on my father's side that, again, we never associated with. Big long story. I'm not gonna get into it, but they were out of Manchester. So. Nice just to sit back, kick back, and relax with the autopilot. Let you know that. So, nothing wrong with that. I just hit the throttle with my arm. Let's get it back up there. Should be in Plymouth in about 27 and a half minutes. Boston will be coming up in front of us. It'll be off our right. So.
Concord traffic, Comanche 7773 Papa is taking runway 35 for a northbound. VFR departure will be straight out. Concord traffic.
Top of Class Bravo here will be 7,000 feet, so that's why, again, we're at 9,500. Even though it could be at 7,500, I'd rather be at 9,500 to get better clearance, just in case. Got some traffic breaks. sim. See if I can get an official count for the event tonight. Oh, 20. Official event count was 20. All right. Checking out the Virtual USA club postings here. Alright, it's smooth sailing here. Again, we had to force the weather to be VFR, but makes the sights look really good. Oh, what did I do? I went to the ceiling. And there is no way to deploy the parachute on the Microsoft Flight Simulator model, which makes sense. And that you wouldn't want to do that anyways, unless you were really in trouble, because I've heard that you basically, you total the plane when you deploy the parachute. So, but hey, it's a good last resort, right? Has saved some lives, so you can't complain. We are currently passing Haverhill, Massachusetts on our right. I haven't been out there since, oh God, my early 20s. I think I auditioned for a band back then during my rock band endeavors. I was willing to drive that far back and forth to really make it in a good band. It was called Living Syndication, and they were a really good band, really serious, because if you know the band Stained got signed instead of them, but they were in the running. So those are the type of bands that I kind of looked for back then, trying to make it my 20-year-old mind, and I still had fun at it. Still work in music to this day, just as an educator instead of a performer. But those days, I will treasure those days. I didn't get it, never really asked why, but it was also during a rough part of my life there, so with personal things going on. So maybe it was all for the best, but I'm still Facebook friends with the singer and stuff. So, and then one of the guys they wanted, I auditioned for their band too, so and they were out of UMass Lowell, which is basically next door to Haverhill. So, but that airport is Lawrence, Mass. Over here. I will probably take a real-world flight there someday. That's Class D. And from what I understand as an educator, it's a really tough city, Lawrence, but it's got to be beautiful in its own right in some ways, right? I think so. Alright, there seems to be someone behind me, but the other traffic's out of Boston, so we should be fine all around. And our ground speed's 150 knots. We should be at Plymouth in 21 minutes, 22 minutes. So cannot beat that. Take a look outside, shall we? Definitely coming up on the Boston metro area. This will be 95 going up the coast. And go up to Port. Oh, excuse me. Go up to Port to Maine and stuff. I've actually driven down this highway last time I Boston's right here. That's where I went to college. So, very familiar with Boston. And Lawrence, Mass. Out here. Feels like today was Friday, but it's not. And I'm still working from home. Oh no. Sorry, I just had a message there on my watch. But it's gotta get out, do things, just have to socially distance. So been riding my bike in between. Not today, it was raining weather here in the south of Boston area. But oh, look at that night lighting. How much more realistic can that get? I mean, seriously, you know? They do a pretty nice job at the simulator with the visuals. It's just little other things that they have to get better at. So. It's fun. Yesterday I was streaming and flying in California as part of the Around the USA flights. And I got to Santa Ana. I thought, oh, I'm going to see Disneyland after with the drone. It's going to be cool. Well, two things happened. One, the clouds came in, and I think it's because of the fires out there. But, so they wanted me to do an instrument approach. And I said, hey, why not? And I thought I had it set up pretty good. I haven't done an instrument approach in the longest time, and I'm not an real-world instrument rated pilot yet. I'd like to do that starting next year, hopefully. But so on the glide scope, I had the ILS in there and everything, and I couldn't see the runway to save my life, so I did a go-around. And luckily, when I went around the go-around the second time, the clouds kind of dispersed away, and he gave me a special VFR clearance to get in there, and that was fine. But it's very interesting. And the second thing is, then I sent the drone after I parked. Excuse me. After I parked and I put the parking brake on and everything, I turned off the plane. I said, good, let's send the drone out. We'll try to see Disneyland. Yeah, whenever I sent the drone out near Disneyland, it would say that the airplane crashed into something. Like I ruined my landing gear or something. And I was like, what the hell? So then I just had to get off of that sim and check it out for myself and put the plane right around Disneyland, clear all the weather out, and I got a really good picture. It really looks really good for Disneyland, and that's from someone that went there last year. So the only thing is the castle. The castle looks like it's a melted birthday cake candle castle. So, but we're coming over Boston now on the right. There's Boston Logan. The main part of the city will be right there, which it is. It looks really good. We are over Class Bravo right now, by the way. It should be good. Got some landing aircraft maybe over there. traffic from Toronto. Call sign, Alpha Charlie Alpha 872. I don't know what airline that is. That's what that sim traffic looks like on Microsoft Flight Simulator. No call signs, no nothing, just like real life. You gotta look at the nav lights, beacon, and all that stuff. So in one way cool, and another way kind of disappointing. She has to have gone back asking for somewhere else for a call sign. See what that is. Yeah, Plymouth is south of here on the coast, and then gonna be there in 15 minutes. I will get the weather on column 2, 135.625. That's a little bright on the screen there, so let's dial that down. There we go, I can see it now. All right, 625. Go, change it to there, and we'll monitor column 2. Bam.
Kilo Papa Yankee Mike automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind 286 at tree. Visibility neither.
Yeah,
Sky
so
condition clear.
that usually means 2-4.
15C 2.13C altimeter 29992.
290. I think the weather's just stuck there because I made it like kind of static VFR weather, which is fine. So runway 24. I think I'm gonna do an extended final because again, there's not gonna be much traffic here because I took out Microsoft Flight Simulator traffic and just left that sim traffic in. And I am probably gonna be the only one landing at Plymouth. However, in the real world there is a cell of weather there, but again, we're flying VFR weather. I forced it into the simulator, so. Last time, and the only time I flew over Class Bravo before, I was out wider to the west. But I got a nice picture of Boston. You can actually see, oh my god. Oh, sorry. You can see that video on the Eric Flight YouTube channel. It's under Plymouth to Nashua, Kilo Alpha Sierra Hotel. And I took my friend up with me, who's not a private pilot yet. But hopefully we'll be completing it sometime soon. He flies a Piper, so it'd be nice to go up in the Piper with him. I took him up in the 172 and also the 152 with a little less fuel in it, and we had fun. So, but I've been flying some flights by myself. There's Boston again, and I know it's got that lighted looking thing, but it'd be nice if they put some like. I mean, I don't think they're ever going to get this intricate with the map. It'd be nice if they got a little intricate on like the night lighting of the windows and stuff. I created some scenery for Prepared and stuff, but in Flight Simulator 2004, I like made it for Flight Sim 2004, Prepared, and FSX, and I like modeled every little thing, all the graphics and everything. But I'm gonna have to look into that for this simulator and see if I can do anything about that. We'll see. Someone said it is possible to import Collada objects into Blender and then make that into Flight Simulator scenery. I saw that today. So whenever I find some time, I will look into that and see what I can do on the scenery front, but I'm not going to go nuts right now. I would think it'd be easier though, because the satellite imagery is already here. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to put it in the building where it belongs, so, and exclude the others somehow. But we'll check into that when I feel like it, when I have time. So again, ground speed of 150 knots. We're 12 minutes out, 30 nautical miles to the north of Plymouth. So we'll check the weather one more time. It's probably gonna be the same because again, it's probably static, and we'll leave it be. You know. Look out into the Atlantic, nothing but pitch black. And heading should be 184, so we'll turn it there. Love that this screen has all that map data. That must be really cool to have in the real world. You know. Don't have that in the 172. And I'm sure that they probably have that in the G1000 in the 172, but I've never used that ever before in my life. So that's why I prefer to fly the steam gauges, just for a little bit Is that a ship down there? Let's take a look outside again. Yeah, that's a ship. I guess the wake of it is lit a little bit. As I get closer, I'll definitely know. So. We are over the Atlantic Ocean at 9,500 feet. We're going to be coming out of Bravo pretty soon, so I'll start my descent down to Plymouth, which is about a good 10 nautical miles outside of Class Bravo. And we will go from there. So. We're right over Cohasset, Massachusetts, and there's some beaches here. It's just right on the coast, stuff like that. But let's tune into weather again, see what they're saying. I bet you it's the same thing, so.
Kilo Papa Yankee Mike automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind 286 at tree.
Yeah.
Visibility.
So it's got to stay that way. And we'll leave it that way. What we're going to do now is we're going to descend down. And go to, well, let's go all the way down to 2,000-ish. Ultimately have to get down to 1,150. So you know what, let's go there. Vertical speed down. Gonna do a very slight descent. And back up on the speed a little bit here. Very slight descent down to Plymouth. As far as traffic, I'm the only one out here, except for people down in Boston, so it's not a really good real weather, real world weather type night. Let's see what they're saying for weather. Currently in real life, it would be overcast at 300, so you know. Taunton, right next door, overcast at 400. New Bedford's at overcast at 400. The whole Cape is basically overcast at 2. Overcast at 300. So Provincetown is 4 square miles, overcast at 200 though. So all of this would not be a good night in real life, but again, we made the weather VFR clear. So we're doing pretty good. And we're going to be outside of Class Bravo pretty soon. Below us should be Route 3, I think. just swing out here a little bit to our east to set up a extended final for runway 24 Plymouth. So slow it down just a little bit more, and we'll increase our descent. See that we're almost at class Bravo. Marshfield. I've landed there, I think, a couple times during my training, 3-4 times. So it's a little airport. What's cool about it is if you take off, you go right over the ocean. So if you're in your first couple flights and you want to go somewhere to explore out of Plymouth, this was a cool area. But since then, I've flown over the Cape all the way out to Provincetown, which is over there. That was a fun flight. Again, I wore a personal flotation device just in case, going over the whole Cape Cod Bay. And there's also that time I flew out here at Chatham. That was a good time also. And all those videos, except for Provincetown. Provincetown didn't come out, but the Chatham videos there too on the Eric Flight YouTube channel. But we're out of class Bravo, and we're descending down. It's just a little bit more descent. Plymouth out in the distance over there. Ground speed's 150 knots still. And we're going to head a little bit more out to the east. Kind of doing like a right downwind. 424, but okay, let's get the rain. Oops, right here. It'd be 122.725, but we're on the Unicom for that sim, so I almost forgot. Pretty good. This area right here on the screen, this is where we did turns around a point when I was training for private pilot. And if you look at this from the air, it looks like a dinosaur mouth. It really does. So over here, we did the beach. We did S-turns. Is a beach that you line up. So that was pretty cool to do that. And over here, where it says Burke, that's actually the place where the Mayflower with the Pilgrims landed, and then they took a little boat into Plymouth and settled there. So if you're looking for any history, there you go. We are descending down. Probably have to descend down a little bit more, so let's go a little slower here. And increase that descent a little bit more. That might be Hyannis. I'm actually thinking about going there on my next flight. So that'll be the last airport I have to do in order to say I did all the airports on the Cape. But I will not be flying tomorrow. In fact, I never did get an answer from work about going in the afternoon tomorrow. But they'll try to get back to me tomorrow. But it's weird. I don't know if I'm working remote or not. So. What's this? Someone on my YouTube channel? Question. How are we doing on descent? Oh, we're doing great. So, alright, answer that person's question for YouTube, and it's not the Eric Flight channel, it's the other one that pays for my flying. The Eric DIY channel, where I review products and do-it-yourself projects and stuff like that. But we're going to take a left turn here and do a 360 to descend a little bit more. So I'm going to take the heading off and do that myself. So here we go. While we descend, we can also increase that vertical again, Plymouth's going to be right behind us over here. And we're going to be landing runway 24. That's Provincetown out there. So, don't want to go too far away from Plymouth. This is downtown Plymouth. It's actually a pretty nice place to visit, and runway 24 is over there. But in the summertime, this whole Cape area and stuff is a pretty nice place to hang out and visit. So, Plymouth traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot. We're 7 miles to the northeast, and we're going to set up an extended final for runway 24, Plymouth. We're pretty good here. Just going to stay over the bay a little bit. And we'll start heading it in pretty soon, right over Plymouth Harbor. So, all right, autopilot off. We're good. I'm gonna keep this descent going. Trim, and let's get this leveled out just a little bit so I can deploy 50% flaps, which is at 119 knots. There we go, 50%, and then the next sec we deployed at 109. There's runway 24. So, Plymouth traffic says Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, 6 miles out. Extended final for runway 24, Plymouth. Doesn't take much power though. See, Cirrus has a really powerful engine. And go a little faster. We'll also trim up just slightly, just to keep it going. This is it. This is our final landing of the night. And if you're watching this, whether it be later or not, I appreciate you watching. And please make sure that you do subscribe and like to the Eric Flight channel on YouTube. As well as, if you can, go on Twitch, search up Eric Flight, and push the follow button. We're definitely looking for more followers, and I hope to create more and more flights and interesting material for you. So, Plymouth traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, 4 miles out, extended final for runway 24, Plymouth. All right, looking pretty good. And we didn't use ATC at all tonight. That's how I wanted to keep it, so. We won't put in the 100% flaps till we get closer to the runway. But this thing, like the other aircraft, tends to float on the flare, like a lot. Like I'll be at 85 knots, turn it off to be 80 over the numbers like it says in the POH. I'm still floating, so I don't know. I think they got some flight dynamic stuff to go over still. But this looks very much like Plymouth at night, so
500.
They did a nice job on the visuals. They just have to work on the flight dynamics and the little quirks still. That's the 500 AGL notice, because field elevation here is 150 MSL. So look pretty good. I'm gonna just keep it level for a second here and get a little more height. Okay, put the 100% of flaps in there pretty soon. Plymouth traffic, Cirrus 89er Foxtrot, final for runway 24, Plymouth. Okay, 100% flaps. I want to be at 85. Trim down slightly. Beautiful. Pretty good. We've done this landing lots of times. It's cool when you control the night landing at night. You could light up that whole airport just for your dinky little plane to get in there. Okay. Throttle out. And let's land this thing. There we go. Beautiful. Flaps up. What the heck is that little nose thing that just happened? No one knows. But I'm doing aerodynamic braking, but when you go all the way back, look what happens. The nose won't, well, I guess it doesn't do this on this as much as the Cessna. But this is quite the roll here for the Cirrus. So we're going all the way to the end now. And I'm going to go to the left because that's where you can rent Cirruses in real life here in Plymouth. So, brakes. And hopefully they have this taxiway, which it looks like they do. Because they're missing one of them, so. Am I in the grass? Yeah, because I couldn't see the taxi lights. Good job, Eric. Good job. It's time for bed, everybody. All right. Plymouth traffic, Cirrus 89 of Foxtrot. Clearing runway 24, Plymouth. Okay, checklist. Flaps up, 1000, transponder, we're leaving on for now. Okay, here we go. Doesn't take much to taxi this thing. I've never really taxied off this before on this side of the runway, so we're gonna play it by ear just a little bit and do our best. But the parking should be on this side of the airfield up ahead. And if you're lucky, sometimes you can see Bill Cosby's old private jet on the same apron over here. It's a blue and white jet. Someone purchased it and it stayed around the Plymouth area ever since. I don't really see it go out. Actually, it did go out for a while. I didn't see it for a while. Now it's back. So. The flaps are up, correct? Yes, they are. All right, cool. Here are the hangars on the right, I believe. And parking should be right here, which it is. They just have taxi lights in front of the apron. It's cool. But I should be able to pull in over here. Can't really see because there's no lighting. So it's not crashing at any planes, okay? All right. And we're gonna call it a day after this, so. All right, I guess I'm on the apron. Does it say I'm in the apron? Yeah, it does. All right, pull it in here. Well, we'll just call it parked, so let's park this thing. Checklist. Fuel pump's already supposed to be off, so let's turn that off. Off, thank you. All right, with that, shut down avionics switch off. Again, I made this checklist from the POH here. Fuel pump, if used, off. I already did that. Mixture cut off. So mixture fully. Magneto's off. Battery master off. And it automatically has a flashlight pop up after that. Everything's off here. How about the lights? The lights are now off. Pitot heat is off. They said to leave it on, so I don't know if you always leave it on, but it's in the checklist that way. And everything else should be good. Parking brake. And I just want to thank you again if you watched tonight. I know it was a longer flight, and it was good. Got to fly around New Hampshire and back as part of the fly-in event. I'm extremely tired right now, though, so I am going to go to bed. So I'm going to sign off, and remember to subscribe and like on the Eric Flight YouTube channel, and also push that follow button here on Twitch for Eric Flight, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.